Ahoy, hoy, my good boy. Oh, Andy, I'm so glad you came back to see me. Tell me, how have you been?
Well, Dr. Oddcoitus, the review therapy that you suggested years ago has really helped. I've dealt with my issues and I'm not angry anymore. I think I'm cured.
Yeah, right.
Shut up.
So when I tell you they've remade Pet Sematary, how do you feel?
You know, I don't care.
Well, what about Hellboy, Death Wish, Jacob's Ladder, or Suspiria?
Whatever. If I don't want to see it, I won't see it. If no one watches, they'll stop making them. I say, vote with your dollar.
What about Child's Play?
They what?
You can't remake Child's Play. Chucky was like the last holdout. Curse and Cult just came out a couple years ago. Chucky's getting his own show on the Sci-Fi Channel. You can't remake Chucky while the original Chucky is still going. There can't be two Chuckies.
Ah, 'tis the season. What about Halloween?
What? No, I already did those damn Halloween remakes.
They rebooted it again.
Oh God. They just won't stop. I have to reboot Boots to Reboots.
All of these shitty remakes, is there a single gem? They did it right already. Get all the candle to them. Which any of we watching with personality. One thing for sure, good people, we got some movies to see. We got Boots to Reboots. Stop ready to stop that shit. We got Boots to Reboots. Stop ready to stop that shit.
Hello, I'm Andy the Maniacal Cinephile, and welcome back to Boots to Reboots. Halloween 2018 is the latest reboot of the iconic slasher, directed by David Gordon Green and written by Green and Danny McBride. It is the 11th installment in the Halloween series, but also a direct sequel to the 1978 film, thus retconning the continuity of the previous sequels. With this film, there are now 4 different Halloween timelines. There's Halloween 1 through 6, Halloween 1, 2, H2O, and Resurrection, Rob Zombie's remakes, and now Halloween and... Halloween. That's right, 3 films in the series just titled Halloween. Confused yet? This Halloween is part of a new trend in reboots that forgets the remakes and returns to the original films, which makes the last 15 years feel like even more of a waste. Yes, we got OG Michael Myers back. But he's in his 60s.
Michael can now watch his own movies with the seniors discount.
So without further ado, let's cross Halloween off the list. Again, and see if it deserves the boot. The setting is October 29th, 2018, 40 years after the babysitter murders in Haddonfield. True crime podcasters Aaron Corey and Dana Haynes travel to Smith's Grove Sanitarium to see Michael Myers. The goal is to gain some insight into Michael's crimes before his transfer.
Transferring Michael Myers right before Halloween. Have they not seen part 4?
They briefly interview Michael's psychiatrist, Dr. Sartain, a former student of Dr. Samuel Loomis. Word has it that Loomis flunked him. 6 times!
I shot him 6 times! I shot him 6 times! I shot him in the heart! I shot him 6 times!
The podcasters interrupt a game of life-sized funny farm checkers so Aaron can harass the mentally ill.
I borrowed something from a friend at the Attorney General's office, Michael.
Is that how that works? Hang on. Hello, Attorney General? Evidence, please. What do you mean all I had to do was ask? However, brandishing the mask has no effect on Michael.
He probably wasn't wearing his hearing aids.
Say something, Michael.
The journalists then try to score an interview with Laurie Strode.
How does $3,000 sound?
I'll accept my payment.
I imagine that's how Jamie Lee's contract negotiations went. We're reunited with Laurie Strode, who is twice divorced, suffers from PTSD, lives in isolation after developing agoraphobia, and is an alcoholic.
Hey, Mom.
That's mine.
I thought you quit drinking.
Sorry.
Mom.
You stop this.
Is it really a family dinner if it doesn't end in booze and crying?
Laurie's issues have resulted in a strained relationship with her granddaughter Allison and daughter Karen. That's right, Karen, not Laurie's daughter Jamie from the Thorn trilogy, not her son John from H2O, but Karen. A new child, this time taken away due to Laurie's survival training, who grew up to deliver flat dialogue.
I've spent my entire life trying to get over the paranoia and neuroses that she has projected on me.
Well, according to my research, after Jamie and John, K is the next letter in the alphabet.
I understand that those 2 timelines are now erased, but here's an opportunity to fix things. Have Danielle Harris return as Jamie and appear alongside Laurie for the first time. Danielle even made it known on social media that she wanted to. In this universe, Laurie could have raised her daughter Jamie because Laurie never died.
That would have been awesome.
Don't you hate it when you're negotiating with an actor and all of a sudden their character dies in an off-screen car crash?
Danielle Harris and Jamie Lee were tied for second most appearances in the Halloween series. Now with the reboot, Jamie Lee and Donald Pleasance are tied.
Come on, Donald, you got this. Don't call it a comeback.
Evil Andy, Donald Pleasance was cremated over 20 years ago.
They can digitally de-age him.
No, I guess we'll just have to settle for a voice impersonator.
Death. It's the only solution for Michael.
Laurie lives in a comically fortified house, where she has prepared for Michael's return through extensive combat training and yogurt consumption.
Sometimes if I eat as I used to, my digestive system gets out of whack. It's not easy keeping it working as it should.
It's easy if you enjoy an Activia every day.
Delicious.
Something important to note here is that Michael and Laurie are no longer brother and sister. That was never the intention in the original film.
Wasn't it her brother who, cold-blooded mutilated all those teenagers?
No, that's just a bit that some people made up to make him feel better, I think.
In the original, Michael Myers is an escaped mental patient randomly killing babysitters. Laurie was simply at the wrong place at the wrong time. It wasn't until NBC purchased the rights to show Halloween that 12 minutes needed to be added to the runtime to fill 2 hours. So during the filming of Halloween 2, they shot new scenes to reveal that Laurie is Michael's sister. Carpenter wasn't proud of the idea, and in retrospect calls the idea awful. And I agree. Myers is scarier when he targets at random with no motivation.
Like Guy Fieri in a kitchen.
We're then introduced to a father and son returning from hunting.
I'm missing dance class for this, and
Sometimes I'd rather do that than
I
hunt
mean,
him.
is dance class that important to you?
Damn, Dad, just let little Steve-O dance.
Yeah, dude.
And to nobody's surprise, Michael's transport has crashed, so they investigate.
Run!
Ugh, that's the look of a guy who just saw Halloween Resurrection.
Don't shoot!
His dad's never gonna let him dance now after killing someone.
Steve-O, it's Halloween, not opposite day.
I've been shot.
Once, a real man could take 5 more, and not even rap about it.
The breakout results in a dead security guard, the father, and sadly his son. I was actually really surprised to see him kill that kid. I mean, I know in Halloween 4 and 5 his whole motivation was to kill an 8-year-old, but to see him actually do it is tragic, and shows that Michael isn't holding back. Michael then travels to Haddonfield and finds Aaron and Dana recording in front of his sister's grave.
Ah, crap! I think they spotted me!
Michael then begins Halloween like he usually does. He kills some clerks at a gas station, and then dons the costume of a crooked fiend. A car mechanic.
Damn mechanics. Always finding evidence of a hit and run.
Unfortunately, the journalist is attacked as well.
Excuse me, someone's in here.
Michael, where are your manners? Learn how to knock first. No, Michael, she said spare TP, not do you have any spare teeth. Thankfully, Aaron saves her from the pea-covered floor, and he's dead.
Well, at least he's knocking.
I was kinda bummed that these two died. Donald Pleasance passed away decades ago, and Sartain is mediocre.
Oh, you're the new Loomis.
I guess.
We needed that Loomis archetype filled. Aaron could have been the Myers expert running around town, aiding the police and yelling at people to hide, eventually earning Laurie's trust. I mean, he already has the English accent and trench coat. But at the same time, I guess we need a body count. Before heading to Haddonfield, Michael retrieves his iconic mask.
Do people still put on hockey masks and try to scare you?
It's the wrong movie, baby.
I love his old, wrinkly, rotting face. If only it were bloated, it'd still look like William Shatner.
They even have the same glued-on hair.
Ah, God! It smells like 40 years of sweat and bad breath in here!
Whoops, sorry kids. With tunnel vision and his one dead eye, I'm surprised Michael isn't bumping into everything. We're then treated to probably the best sequence in the entire movie. In one long, continuous shot, Michael wanders the street, retrieves a hammer, breaks into an elderly woman's home, kills her with said hammer, which he exchanges for the classic kitchen knife.
Andy, he's not gonna hurt the baby like the boy, is he?
The suspense is killing me. I hope it'll last.
Don't worry, Michael leaves the baby. Just like its father.
Fun fact, Jamie Lee Curtis actually recorded the baby cries.
You ready?
Yes.
In the same continuous shot, Michael heads next door to murder another person. That shot is exactly 3.5 minutes. The timing and coordination is most impressive. Meanwhile, Allison's friend Vicky is babysitting the wisecracking Julian.
If I had some other kind of babysitter, she'd be reading me a story. I wouldn't be up clipping my nasty ass toenails.
Wait, we're supposed to clip our toenails?
Once Julian's in bed, Dave, Vicky's impulsive boyfriend, arrives.
I got this tattoo because tonight is the night. The one we'll remember for the rest of our lives.
The rest of their lives being about 5 minutes.
However, before any hanky-panky can happen, Julian sees the boogeyman, and Vicky investigates.
Oh, shit! No!
That's why you wear socks during sex, not right before, when you still have time to run. While Julian flees, Michael does what he does and kills the babysitters.
I mean, what, a couple people getting killed by one guy with a knife is not that big of a deal.
See, dudes? Totally not a big deal. Deputy Frank Hawkins, who arrested Michael in 1978, and Laurie hear the incident over the radio and speed towards the house.
Get out of here! Get inside!
Reminds me of our fond childhood holidays. Grandma racing over, yelling, and waving her gun.
Frank discovers the bodies while Laurie sees the shape for the first time in 40 years. Now, some headlines were misleading by stating that original Michael Myers actor Nick Castle was returning. Not quite. James Jude Courtney is actually the one to play Myers throughout the movie, and he does a terrific job. Nick Castle's big return is actually a small cameo they filmed in a mirror, through a window, across the street.
Well, while they're at it, why don't they put a tree in the way?
I'm just happy that Castle got to do his famous head tilt one more time.
Besides for that one shot, in post-production, Castle did record Michael's breathing. Michael disappears after Laurie shoots his shoulder. Ow! And she is introduced to Michael's new doctor, who is a big fan.
I read everything about you and Michael. Everything.
Whoa, I don't know what you've read, Sartain, but Michael and Laurie are no longer brother and sister. So all of those kisses are totally fine. Meanwhile, Laurie's granddaughter Allison has a falling out with her boyfriend and ditches the Halloween party with her friend Oscar, who unsuccessfully makes his own move.
I'm going home. You can figure your own shit out.
Who's there? What? Hey!
Motion sensor, dumbass!
Oscar's luck gets even worse when the shape shows up.
Have you ever really liked a girl and you just couldn't have her?
Kid, all girls do is run from me.
The motion sensor lights then leads to another inventive, creepy sequence.
What's up?
These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise.
Oh, Mr. Elrod is not going to be happy about his electric bill.
After witnessing Oscar's death, Allison flees and is picked up by both Hawkins and Sartain, who give Michael the old Ben Tramer treatment.
The road and Michael's pants gotta be full of skid marks.
However, before Hawkins can kill Myers, Sartain shanks him.
I'm not gonna say it again. Step away from the suspect. So, this is what it feels like.
To totally confuse an audience. So it turns out that Sartain is crazy and completely obsessed with understanding the mind of evil.
Oh God, it smells like 40 years of sweat and bad breath in here.
Sartain reveals to Allison that he arranged for Michael's escape just to study the animal in the wild and to reunite Michael with Laurie. This reveal is probably the weakest part of the movie. Because Laurie and Michael are no longer siblings, there's no real reason for Michael to go after her.
He waited for this night. He's waited for me.
No, sorry, girl. He's just not that into you anymore.
So they needed a way to get Michael to Laurie's house for the finale. And this is the best they came up with? Evil Loomis?
I've never heard him speak, you see. In spite of my encouragements, he remains unresponsive.
No matter how much I tickle him.
What they could have done is, since Michael is no longer hunting Laurie, Laurie is now hunting Michael. She searches for him, spots him, gets his attention. Michael is one of the few slashers who can drive, so maybe they get into an exciting car chase, and Laurie leads him back to her house of traps. But before Sartain can see his patient in action, Michael wakes up on the wrong side of a police car.
Say something.
I have but 5 words.
Laurie manages to persuade Karen and her husband Ray, the Wiz from Seinfeld.
Nobody beats me because I'm the Wiz. Yes, I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz.
To seek protection at Laurie's house. Ray then sees if the patrolling officers have heard from Allison.
Ooh, I called dibs on smashing that one.
To be fair, his head was already pretty hollow. Upon arriving at Laurie's house, Michael quickly dispatches Ray.
But the Wiz was unbeatable.
Alerted, Laurie sends Karen to the basement safe room, while Laurie prepares for their final showdown.
Oh, God damn it!
Laurie locks the front door and makes sure to get real nice and close to it.
Well, now he's just showing off his knocking manners.
That or he sees a spider in her hair. Laurie escapes Michael by shooting off 2 of his fingers.
Well, you can still go bowling.
Laurie then searches the house, sealing each room with security gates. You ever look at a room you need to clean and wish you could just... This room is now dead to me. Upstairs, Laurie is ambushed by Michael, who stabs her and pushes her over the balcony, similar to the original's ending.
Hey, she keeps stealing my thing. Just like those damn nurses.
Eventually, the granddaughter, Allison, arrives at the house. Her mother, Karen, guides her to the underground safe room. Alerted, Michael heads downstairs and Karen panics while Michael breaks in.
I'm just looking for your stockpile of yogurt.
Mom! Help us! I can't do it!
Gotcha.
See, the security training and childhood trauma paid off.
Okay, Karen. You won me over. But just a little.
Laurie reappears, and 3 generations of Strodes whoop Michael's ass and trap him downstairs. Laurie then lights up a flare and sets the room ablaze. I hope Karen likes her Michael well done.
Otherwise, Karen will need to speak to the manager.
Dr. Loomis couldn't burn him to death. Busta Rhymes couldn't burn him to death. But maybe the third time will be the charm. No, it's not. In the next couple of shots, Michael Myers is nowhere to be seen. After the credits, you can hear his breathing, hinting Myers is still alive and probably has asthma. With the amount of damage Myers is taking, after the next 2 movies he'll probably just be a head and 1 foot. Forget Halloween, you might as well call this movie Easter, because there's a big basket full of Easter eggs. Pumpkin! Continuous shot. PJ Souls voice cameo. Creepin' on the classroom. The Myers house. Psychos on the loose. Halloween 4 gas station. Michael Myers never letting anyone pass this beast in peace. Reference to Mr. Elrod. Reference to Mrs. Elrod. References to Lonnie the bully.
I know Lonnie. I went to high school with him. He used to sell me peyote.
Hey, watch it, boombox kid. Alice dies talking to Sally. The redheaded stepchild. Silver shamrock. White shirt, yellow sleeves. Ghost. Justice for Ben Tramer. 2 dead cops. And another fiery ending. And it appears that Halloween Kills will keep the references coming. Marion Chambers, Sheriff Brackett, Lindsay Wallace, and Tommy Doyle are all set to return, as well as the Haddonfield Memorial Hospital.
But after 40 years, I'm really excited for the big return of Hedge.
The reboot cleans up the mythology established by Carpenter, uses old but tried and true ingredients while offering plenty of fan service. You could tell that the filmmakers were fans and knew the movies. The reboot grossed over $250 million worldwide, making it the highest grossing film in the franchise and the highest grossing slasher film ever. Not only does the reboot have the highest gross, but also one of the highest Halloween body counts. 17 out of 18 being disposed of by Michael Myers. With the Friday the 13th series still stuck in legal hell, with the next 2 movies, Michael Myers may beat Jason's record. For years, John Carpenter stayed away from Halloween, happily taking a paycheck and playing video games. However, unhappy with all the sequels and the remakes, he finally decided to return as an executive producer and creative consultant. After providing the score for Halloween 1 through 3, John Carpenter even returned to score the reboot. The classic yet updated score is one of the many highlights of the new movie. Halloween 2018 is one of the better sequels and a return to form. Jamie Lee is always welcome as Laurie Strode, and like many great horror movies, the reboot works in issues of the decade in which it's made. Laurie standing up to an abuser from decades ago is clearly a reference to the Me Too movement. It was also nice to just get back to basics and get a Michael Myers true to the original. Forget the Cult of Thorn, Busta Rhymes, and white trash parents. This Michael Myers is back to being an escaped mental patient and mysterious force of nature. So does Halloween, the third one, deserve the boot? No. For the first time in 20 years, we have a new Halloween movie that's respectful to the original while doing its own thing. These are probably the most accurate portrayals of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode that we've had in decades. Forget remakes. I'm all for reboots, returning to the original. The old Halloween that we know and love is officially back from the dead. Happy Halloween, everyone. This has been Boots to Reboots.
Thanks for watching.
And see you next time.